The land around the Bundy Ranch has seemed somewhat like a police state to people in this community.
Throwing women to the ground, tasing them, sicking canine dogs on them.
That's caught the attention of private militia across the country who feel First Amendment rights are being violated.
That's what we do. We provide armed response.
Jim Lordy came from Montana to join the protesters, and he says he's not afraid to shoot if necessary.
Why the gun? Well, they have guns. We need guns to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government.
And he says other militia members are joining him.
There's many more coming.
There you go, honey.
But for this small community, violence isn't a part of the conversation.
These people that are coming in could totally disrupt everything.
Restaurant owner Judy Metz says adding guns and militiamen could lead to lives lost.
That absolutely frightens me.
If somebody does something or says something and these guys pull a gun, that's going to be all, that's going to be it.
For now, things remain peaceful, but these protesters stand ready, expecting things could turn ugly at any moment.
Killing of cattle! Who's got the guns? Comply, 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 comply with the order.
And I'm glad to see that we've got plenty of patriots that's got their eyes on the situation in Nevada. Of course, we always want to exercise restraint, especially to my militia brothers and sisters out there. If they're listening, look, let's go in and let's have this as a stepping stone. Let's don't go in all hot and huffy, guys. There's plenty to gain from this as a stepping stone. I'm grateful that Sheriff Mack is going out there. I hear that he's on his way. That's going to be a powerful player in all of this. He's very diplomatic. I've met Richard Mack, great patriot, great ideas. I've always supported him. Matter of fact, we kind of gave Richard Mack his first model here in Edwards County, Texas. Look, this all comes down to tyranny. You know, tyranny always slips in quietly, folks. Read history. That's all we got to do is go back on our history and in the entire world. Matter of fact, if you go anywhere in the world where tyranny slowly slips in, but this is the neat thing that happens. I want to remind everybody that once when tyranny is identified, it's always smashed. Not one tyrant in history has ever survived. They haven't. Go read the history. None of them stood. I could name names. Every one of them have been defeated. And that's because of that little thing, that natural thing we call freedom and liberty. I would hope that the federal government, if they're listening to me right now, will exercise more restraint than the people will. Exercise restraint. We want to use this as a stepping stone to bring up state sovereignty. That's what this all goes back to, is state sovereignty. And that's where we need to keep it, folks. We have a chance here for a stepping stone instead of a black eye. Look, we all take oaths, just like our military, our police, everything else. We take the same oath. We cannot kneel on our oath. So that's why I would really ask the federal government to think real hard before they do anything abrupt in Nevada. Because once when they do, I don't think they're going to like what comes next. Here again, we'll go back to that tyranny deal. Tyranny has been identified in America. And trust me, it will be stomped. Whether it's stomped 6 months from now, or 2 years from now, or even 10, it will get knocked on its butt. That's just the way history rolls. That's the way people are. when you threaten their freedom and their liberty. So that's my call to the federal government, is think real hard about what you're doing, what your next steps are. Is a tortoise worth lives? Is it worth human lives? That's what I'm going to ask the federal government. Is it worth human lives, a tortoise? Is this whole situation worth one person dying over? And I tell you what, if the federal government says that it is, well, then it's time for the people of America to rise up and stomp them thoroughly into the ground. We got the numbers to do it. I'm going to address this as a patriot on a personal level, using whatever following that I have. I do plan on going to Nevada if this thing escalates into a violent stance. We need to have diplomacy there.
Right.
Now, I'm hoping that our militias will go there in a diplomatic stance, a professional stance. Look, folks, we're trained to do things that are a little scary to the average person. I would think that our training and stuff should be shown in a light that makes people comfortable with us, because really we're there to defend them.
I want to talk for a minute about the M word. That's what some people in the militia movement call it. It's a little something I wrote that might go a little ways towards explaining to the civilian population how we feel and why we feel the way we do. The American people need to know that the militia is not a threat to them. We're not crazies or fringe groups. We're real people, just like you.
people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.